to the Barbershop. I'm your host, Matt Horner, with my co-host, Keith. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Matt. How are you?
You're doing good. Well, in the Barbershop, you celebrate events. People come in for weddings, anniversaries, babies' births, birthdays, graduation, and they always get a haircut.
Yep.
This week is a birthday of this guy that I really can't describe really well. Keith, it's your birthday.
It was my birthday.
I was going to try to say something negative, but I just couldn't say it.
Don't worry about it. People have a hard time with that one.
Yeah.
Coming up with negative things.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't ask my wife.
Yeah. So, anyway, how old are you now?
33 years old.
Oh, man. Half your life, or at least a third, is gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Older.
Older?
Yeah.
Funny, with age, today's show is about, birthdays. And we have birthdays and everything. In businesses, you say, it's the barbershop hit a year today, or, anniversaries. I've been married coming on 14 years, coming on 15. And we have all these milestones. And it can be sometimes comical things that we celebrate.
Yes.
And it comes with moods. Yesterday, my boy was talking about, he's 7. We talk about Charlie a lot. He said, "Dad, that is so old school." He looked at me and said that. And I thought, you don't even know what school is yet.
Or old.
Or old. And so, anyway, birthdays come with all types of feelings. So,
Yeah.
Did your 30th mean anything to you?
So, yes. For my 30th birthday, Amanda threw the most amazing surprise birthday party that I could have ever imagined. And she threw it for me on my 29th birthday, so that I was really surprised. So it was my 30th birthday party, and it was just an amazing event. She had invited all of our friends and family to a Batman-themed party, and it was just, she went all out, and my good friend Ruben and Ray, they were both very instrumental in helping with that, and it was an amazing time. So yeah, it was awesome.
It was a good time.
Yeah, and
I've seen people though hit 30 and they seem like they have a slump in the sense of like, what have I done with my 20s?
Yeah.
And then I see people like that are very successful, and you go, "Well, how old are you?" And they go, "Well, I'm 28," and they're like, a major CEO of a company that developed all this stuff. Is like, I ain't doing shit.
Yeah, for me, 30 was important because I felt like, I've been involved in church my whole life, and you don't get a lot of respect from the elders before you're 30. And then I realized once you turn 30, you still don't get a lot of respect.
Yeah, and that's another thing is, when do we get the respect? Because now I find myself, young people graduating high school or in their early 20s, and they're spouting off their they think wisdom, I think ignorance.
Right. Yeah.
And I think I'm actually looking at them the way I felt like people were looking at me.
Yeah, and it's terrible.
It's terrible. And then here we are in our 30s. I'm 36, and I feel like sometimes people in my dad's age, 60s and stuff, are looking at me thinking, "Buddy, you have no idea."
Yeah, we're still the young whippersnapper.
Yeah.
When do you graduate out of that?
Whippersnapper.
Yeah.
And is there a 60-year-old man feeling that way because his 90-year-old dad is still alive?
At some point, you have to reach the point where people respect you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we're just not respectable people.
Maybe not. I need more power. I think that would help.
Authority.
If I could just punish those who don't listen.
Yeah. So yeah, 30 was important to me, and
30. Yeah.
We did a big deal for Amanda's 30th birthday party, and I think it's and like you were saying,
I can't wait though to be 40 and looking back on my first $1 million. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, that's a big dream.
Yeah.
Right?
And by my 50s, I plan on at least owning a few jets.
Oh my
things
goodness.
like that. Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
If you don't speak it, you can't receive it.
Oh. That's true.
I guess to some extent.
If it's meant to be, then it's up to me.
But it's funny with age. My son is going to have a birthday in 3 weeks. So it's funny what he'll go, what do you want to do for your birthday? Well, we could go to this dude ranch, and he could take one friend because it's kind of expensive, and we can do this horse riding trip. We go on a guided fishing trip, which is about the same price. Or he could stay home and like just have a home party with a bunch of friends and jump on the trampoline, get wet, whatever. And he goes from like something like that at the house to something crazy like, what do you think about a Disney cruise, Dad? And so it's funny with birthday parties. They range from, let's just have in the backyard, eat hot dogs.
Sure.
I'll make a homemade slip and slide and soak all the kids with water hose to spending thousands of dollars. Celebrations range. Weddings range from, I'm just at the courthouse with my best friend and my wife versus I'm going to spend my fortune on this wedding.
And specifically weddings can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And birthdays, to that point, our kids, even when the time is approaching, my youngest Eden, her birthday's coming up in May, and we're already negotiating, different things about what the birthday party could be and who's going to be there and what she could get. And my boys will negotiate birthday presents months in advance. Hey, Dad, we really want this thing right now, and if you get it for us now, then we'll just count it as my birthday present 8 months later. Yeah. As a matter of fact, one time they wanted a bass guitar and an electric guitar, okay? And so I agreed to go ahead and get it for them now because I'm all about them learning music and then not doing anything. So when their birthdays come around,
they're bummed.
Everyone forgot that we had done that. And so they're talking about birthday presents, and I'm scratching my head thinking, I thought I was scot-free this year. And I had to remind them about that. And they're like, oh, yeah. But they were ready to receive more.
Oh, they knew. They knew good and well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Yeah. They thought.
If you can get an extra piece of cake, you got to.
Oh, my gosh. Birthdays can.
But it can come pretty stressful.
Yeah.
So Eli just had his birthday, my 4-year-old. That was last month. And so we ordered some stuff off Amazon, some little birthday kit. He wanted a Power Ranger birthday. It was real simple. For younger the age, in some ways, the simpler it is.
Yep.
But our culture puts on all this added stress
and pressure.
So in this little birthday kit came a to-do list, things you should follow.
Oh wow.
Hire a clown or a DJ was one of them. Okay, if I would have followed everything on this to-do list, it would have been extravagant. Get with the baker, design the cake. That was on the to-do list.
Oh my gosh.
And send out and make homemade invitations. That way they're personalized and be perfect for the perfect day. That's what, it said it in the perfect mommy language. that I hate to say it, but sometimes stay-at-home parents just soak up.
Yeah.
Or just parents, period. And I say that in all honesty because I'm a part-time stay-at-home dad. And so I guess you're a dad full-time, but...
Well, we're both dads full-time.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So the list was just so crazy, and I'm listening to it, and my wife's reading it to me, and I'm saying, we ain't doing half that crazy crap. But there's this anxiety that comes over, especially as parents and birthdays.
For sure.
And in this culture now, and I think it's maybe greater now than when I was a child. I feel like, because when I was a child, the fanciest thing a kid had was go to the local skating rink.
Exactly. And cake and ice cream.
Cake and ice cream, and that was like...
If your friends bring a present, that's cool.
Your mom and dad dropped the change. They rented the skating rink.
Yeah.
I mean, but today it's trampoline parks, even at Chuck E. Cheese's you can rent and do, some...
Yep.
There's all these little party places that like have bowling alleys and arcades.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge expectation now. And, we've contemplated many times, are we even doing the right thing?
Yeah.
When our kids were...
Adds stress.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And are we doing the right things for the kids? When our kids were young, you see them with all these family members around, and there's just all these presents, and they're the center of attention, and they're getting toy after toy, and then a grandparent and their infinite wisdom decides to get them a shirt or some pants, some clothes, and they're all upset about it. Where's my toys? And I want toys. And I thought, yikes, this is not what we're trying. This is not the person that we're trying to raise here.
Yeah.
So to me, we've really tried to cut back on, we'll do a get together with friends and stuff, but trying to cut back on the self-indulgence of birthdays from their perspective, from the kid's perspective, I think is important, because they can really become selfish and spoiled in a day.
There's some birthday faux pas out there, some might say.
Yeah.
Like when a woman is obviously over a certain age and it's their birthday, everything inside me wants to say, how old are you? But I think that's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
But some people find that offensive.
Particularly women.
As men, I think we pride ourselves on our age.
Yeah, it can be.
Because I often say I'm a year older than I really am, just because I'm looking forward to my next age. Like it's another notch of wisdom I've gotten because I'm older, so you should listen to me.
Yeah. I
think for the female mindset, they think, well, I'm just wrinklier and saggier, and I'm not as pretty, and I'm not as... And they're not as excited about being older.
Sure.
But men are like, oh, listen to me. I feel like it's a different mindset between male and female. And I find that interesting because men often brag in the barbershop. They come in, an old man goes, well, I've only been on this earth 70-something years, but this is what I've done. And then he spouts off his wisdom. I've never yet seen a woman sit down and say the same thing. I've only been on this earth 100 years or whatever and spout off her wisdom.
Right.
But I've seen lots of men, as a prerequisite about what they say, state their age.
Yeah, and it's that it's the experience, you've got credentials. Mm-hmm. It's credibility is what it is. Mm-hmm. What I have to say is credible because I've lived this long. And I think for women, probably, of course I'm not a woman, but just from the limited things that I know about women, it really is about self-image. And just the idea of, I guess, becoming less useful. I don't know.
I think our culture's more... And funny, cultures that are not so strong on the image side do value age, look at it in a different mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they see the whole wisdom that does bring. Because there is some credibility. I mean, obviously, I know more now, being married 15 years, being alive 36 years, than I did years ago.
Sure. So
there's some legitimacy.
Oh, absolutely. Age. And I think you're absolutely right. I think in other cultures, I've been to cultures where, there's this wise old woman and she's basically the matriarch of the family, and everybody, when she talks, people just they're quiet and they listen. And I love that about, and I've got grandparents that are the same way, my grandmother is, that way. And I think, it's not every woman, but definitely in today's culture, like you're saying, the pressure on women to look a certain way, to, have, feel a certain
younger.
way.
I mean, like Hillary Clinton got a facelift and all this plastic surgery done so she could look younger.
Yeah.
But Bernie Sanders embraced like his crazy grandpa-ness. You know what I'm saying? Like
even the wild hair.
And we always talk and make fun of Trump, but Trump's kind of an anomaly because he's a man who tries to look young, but he's got a spray tan that looks like an Oompa Loompa and a comb over thing that's like glued to his hair.
Yeah.
I swear it is like a glue down comb over is what I think it is, because it kind of combs across and then pulls back. But then he goes, here, pull on it and tag on it. And he's had some people, like he's even grabbed his hair and, to prove that it's not a comb over. But I think they glued it down somehow or something. That's my theory.
That's crazy.
But he's kind of an exact opposite of what most even politicians are. They kind of embrace their age.
Yeah.
I liked how Bernie did. He's like this gray hair just flowing in the wind, didn't care.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He definitely looked crazy.
Yeah.
And I think, for what you're saying, all of these procedures that can be done to, cheat age. And I wonder, what the goal is here. Is it bad to have a few wrinkles on your face, or
I think it's beautiful in the sense it's wisdom.
yeah, and it's how long can cheating it last? I
Yeah.
mean, at some point, and
Nobody's ever really looked at a young person and go, "There's a wise one."
right,
I mean, that's not a common
sure,
thing. I mean, not saying it can't happen, but
yeah.
But when you show wisdom, you show a wrinkly, aged face with deep, piercing eyes.
And when did wrinkles become unattractive?
Yeah,
Why is it that
I'm waiting for my fat to become big is beautiful. Is what I say.
you grew up at the wrong time?
Yeah,
No, but big. I mean, and that's another thing. We talk about weight and all of the extravagant measures we go through
Yeah.
to control our weight and to look a certain way. And there's the magazine cover stuff that I just don't know.
but so for birthdays, we don't need to get caught up on the whole age thing. We need
Yeah.
to embrace the age, I think,
Sure.
and realize it comes with another year chalked up full of learning, hopefully,
Yes.
and evaluating and all that. But talking about learning and evaluating with age, going to birthdays and gifts. What age can you get your kid at 22?
Boy, I'd say,
6 months old? Or?
yeah, maybe that's the first thing.
Well, his rattle was a box of 22 shells.
Yeah. It's a really good idea.
Here I'm coming.
No, yeah, definitely
But
young.
with birthdays, there's different gifts at ages.
There are, yeah.
So you wouldn't just go get a 22 for your 4-year-old. But Charlie got a 22 this year.
Did he?
It's a little single shot youth called a cricket bolt action.
Nice.
And the way I kind of lined it up is, of course, he's 6. Some people might think that's crazy but it's not. I'm hoping for the AR here in 6 months or so. But
Semi-automatic.
but he started out last year for Christmas with the lever action BB gun.
Okay.
So we practiced with that.
Sure, get some gun.
Got some gun safety there.
Yeah, definitely.
And then got now a single shot. So we've been chasing this single squirrel for months. And he hangs out by the kitchen window. And I say, he's out, Charlie. I mean, Charlie can be like getting ready for school, eating his bowl of cereal, and be just like, you could just hear the chair come flying back.
Yeah.
And he's running, getting his boots, and then we go out the back door, kind of come around the house.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen Charlie shoot at the same squirrel now like 8 times. And he's actually now like close. But the first few shots were like feet away.
Oh, wow.
And each time I'm like, good job. Anyway.
Yeah, sure.
But so it's kind of fun though. But certain gifts are different. A 16-year-old you'll give a different type of gift to.
Definitely. And my youngest is Eden. She's 7, and she got a 22. My dad bought her a 22 this year, and she likes it. It was pink.
Yeah.
Bolt action.
Eli, he just had his birthday last month. We got him his bicycle with training wheels and a bicycle helmet. You know what he's doing? He wears that bicycle helmet everywhere. It's RTD2 or whatever that. And he thinks it's the coolest thing. He thinks it's part of a superhero. So we're in the grocery store, and here's my kid with this bicycle helmet. He won't take it off. But he won't ride his bike. He hates his bicycle. But he walks around all day with his bicycle helmet, and I think he thinks it's like some armor.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's that reminds me of the you always hear about people who say, "Oh, I bought my kid this or that," and they were more interested in playing with the box than they were with the actual toy that I got them or whatever. And sometimes it is. I feel like we can overdo it on the presents. Kids could be content with a lot less. We didn't always have the amazing toy guns. We used to use sticks. Or
back in the day, girls played with paper dolls. Mm-hmm. Now we have to have a real doll. They're so spoiled.
They are. Yeah.
But and we do it as adults too. We often bring it down to kids. But I hate to say this. I've been a little shallow as gifts. My wife, if she was here right now, you could see her just roll her eyes like, damn right you're shallow when it comes to gifts. I care. But one of the most embarrassing ones I kind of regret is my mother-in-law gave a financial gift to like this home that took in battered women. And it was a good cause. Like I forget what charity. It was a charitable gift. But she did it in my name. You know what I'm saying? And then as a gift for me, like, oh man, Horner, $100 has been donated to you to this cause. So she puts that in, and that was in my birthday card. And I open it up, and I'm reading it, and like the disappointment is coming across my face. Like, ugh, them battered women that took my $100
That could have been mine.
could have been mine. But
That's funny.
we get that way, you know. And I was a
Yes.
married man when this
Very
happened.
selfish.
Yeah, and of course I got perspective and realized, you know, wise up, you dummy.
Yeah.
But we do
how
that, you know.
incredibly stupid and selfish that was of you to think.
Yeah, but I'm just laying it out there, you know. We even are that way sometimes.
Yep.
I wanted a $100 Academy card or something. I tell you what, though, since they've done that, I think my mother-in-law saw my expression immediately and didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
They've never done that again, which I feel horrible about.
Oh, so they've always given you something now.
Yeah, they've always given me something, and now it makes me feel selfish. But I tell you what, I still spend it every time they give it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's that way.
My mom, she's good about, she'll always send me a card and it arrives on my birthday, and it's always got money in there. I think that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
I always appreciate it. I always tell her ahead of time, don't send me money this year or whatever.
Yeah.
She always does. And, so there is, I agree and certainly can say that there's a thing about recognizing the passage of time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just acknowledging that a person does age.
Yeah.
And that it's important and that people should have, it's like your special day.
It is your special day.
And this year on my birthday, of course, Facebook is people's reminders about your birthday. So, and you might you might see that somebody posted happy birthday to somebody and be like, oh, cool, happy birthday. And people think, well, maybe that's not, it's not a legitimate thing because they didn't know it was my birthday. I don't care. If you take the time to get on Facebook or on your phone and type happy birthday, hope you have a great day, I'm loving that, right?
Yeah.
You mean you just took whatever time it was out of your day to say hi to me. And so we had a lot of Facebook, a couple of people said some really nice things to me. I got a couple of text messages.
That's
just
really rare for you to get that.
It really is. Every year I really look forward to my birthday. It's the time that people tell me they love me. It's the only time of year, one day a year.
Please love me. Love me, please.
But anyway, in a serious note, I really think it's cool. And it makes them feel special, and it lets them know that they are special. And I think that's the thing.
And this world's a big place, often to feel. It's crazy that with so many people we can feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
We should celebrate life.
Yeah.
From pregnancy to death and every birthday between.
Sure.
Celebrate it.
Yeah, and you don't have to be extravagant like you're saying. We don't have to spend thousands or go through a specific checklist. But
it can be a simple camping trip on your property if you have it, or out at your local coffee shop.
Yeah. And there are, there's creative ideas. I mean, one time we did a Nerf war, with our kids for their birthday, and because that was their thing that they were into. And, we got some birthdays coming up that we're thinking about doing a video game tournament where we have all the buddies over, the friends, and everybody plays a game, and we've got prizes for whoever does the best. And I just think you can be creative. It doesn't have to spend a lot. And I think a lot of parents just get so overwhelmed with birthdays because they think, well, I got to buy the right toy.
Yeah.
But it's not about that.
Mm-hmm.
And
it can be a lot simpler and have just as much, or maybe sometimes even more of a powerful effect.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the impact can be high.
That's why I make every gift I give to people a homemade gift. It's from the heart. Saved my wallet.
That's not why you do that. It's only because it saved your wallet.
I made this for you.
Yeah.
You have to take it.
Don't you like this?
Here's some clay pottery.
This is the 5th birdhouse I've given you.
Here's some clay pottery. You can put stuff in it, but it won't hold water.
Yeah, exactly. Amanda, this year, we were joking about the fact that I love Hamburger Helper.
Mm-hmm.
When I grew up,
I like it too.
We ate Hamburger Helper when we grew up. I loved it. It's super simple. And so Amanda was joking because she said, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" And I said, "Let's not make it a big deal. It's no big deal." And she goes, all right, so we just have hamburger helper? And I said, yeah, that'd be awesome. So the joke with all the kids was, we're going to do this hamburger helper. So, of course, I get home and they won't let me come in the house because they've got something else going on, you know.
Yeah.
And she made this amazingly delicious beef ribs, you know, had it on the grill and then put it in the oven. It was probably the best beef ribs I've ever eaten. And so you don't have to it doesn't have to be a gift. It can be, like you said, a thought.
An act of service.
Yeah. And, you know, we ate on those beef ribs and they were delicious. And Eden made me a wonderful brownie dessert with strawberries. And
That's why I give those coupons out for gifts. A free hug.
oh my God.
I got.
Does it ever end?
Yeah. And so, just want to let you know, you got a coupon coming.
Thanks.
Free hug.
Free hug.
No free haircut though.
No free haircut.
That's
One year, Amanda did something really cool for me. It was either for my birthday or for Father's Day, but she put this coupon book together. Her and the kids did, you know, so it was good for a back massage, or it was good for, you know, this or that. And I thought that was really a great idea, you know.
I always try to talk my significant other, my hot smoking baby mama, Sarah.
Now, did you mean like she smokes, or do you mean smoking hot?
Oh, smoking hot. Yeah, that's what I meant. To give me a coupon book of favors. But, you know, we're still working on it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I like them coupons.
You know what you should do is you should give her a coupon book first.
I've done it.
For favors. Oh, has she ever cashed them in?
I can't disclose that.
Oh, that's good.
A gentleman never tells.
Yeah, sure. Of course not. Why would we do that? You
I
know?
mean, if she did, I'd tell.
Yeah, exactly. They would be bragging. Because we brag in the barbershop.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the great thing about birthdays, though, is that you can do something fun, a Nerf war, an act of service. I like the Nerf war. I mean, my boys would eat that up.
Yeah, we did it at the church gym.
Yeah, and a great meal. And that's something about birthdays. You get excited. You get to pick the food, and you don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's your day.
As a dad and husband, what do you want to eat? And I'm willing to sacrifice what I want a lot of times for the good of the family. But when it's your birthday, you can say, you know what?
Yeah.
I want that meatloaf that I love, or I want that whatever, ribs.
Sure.
And so that's the great thing about birthdays is you kind of get to be a king for a day.
For one day, it's about you.
Yeah, and that's great.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's important for us to let our kids know that, you know, we do recognize that they're getting older. It's important to them. It's important to us. But also just try not to spoil them.
Yeah. So we got other people that everybody in this world has, probably. Your mate, your wife. Birthday gifts there are sometimes a little different mindset. You know, obviously you got the lingerie stores and sexual aspect. You could go that way.
Sure.
But then you want to get them what they want too. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that they don't want that, but you know, at the same time, it's differently. I spend a lot differently and think a lot differently about my wife's birthday than my boys.
Yeah, totally. Of course.
And so relationship matters.
Yeah, it does. One time, you know, it was the running joke for a while that Amanda would ask me what I wanted, and I'd tell her, and she'd get me something completely different. What do you want? Well, I'd tell you. So then, you know, she'd ask, well, what do you want this year? Well, I would tell you, but you weren't going to get it anyway. So
yeah, I tell her, well, I wanted it, and thank you for getting it for me because I went and bought it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd go get it.
She'll say that too.
Yeah.
She'll say, thanks for my birthday present, Keith. You know?
Yeah.
That's
And then
funny.
with your parents, that's another thing. You know, it's different now that my parents and I'm actually a child that making money and moved out of the house and everything. You start wanting to give to them, and you think about all the birthdays they gave to you, and all that, and how you want to give to your parents. And hopefully, you have a parent. Everybody has a parent, but that's not always the case. Some parents have or complete butt heads and assholes and abusive. So some children out there don't have this, but I want to be able to, you know, bless my mom and dad.
That's cool.
My in-laws too, because they've been such a blessing to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about, you know, you really want to make the gift right for their birthday.
Yeah.
And so it's funny how, but right now, Charlie wants to do it too, but it's a different mindset with a 7-year-old versus a 17-year-old, 27-year-old,
Sure.
37-year-old. So, anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a cool idea, and being able to honor your parents, speaking about honoring age, just letting them know every once in a while, hey, thanks for feeding me for all those years or whatever, I think
Keep
that's a
me
cool
alive.
idea. Yeah.
So birthdays are great to celebrate. There's all these different facets of it. You can stress out. You can lose the joy of a birthday, even real easy by getting stressed about all these different issues. But just to stop, take a breath, enjoy the birthday, enjoy the life that God gave you, where He put you, why He put you there.
Yeah.
Just sit there and enjoy what you have. To count your blessings, to say thank you, Heavenly Father, for one more year on this
Exactly.
earth. That's awesome.
That's what birthdays are.
Yeah, we should celebrate them.
A reminder of the blessings.
You heard it here at the Barbershop. It's a show a lot about nothing, but every now and then you might get something.
Little nugget.
Little nugget. See y'all next week.
Yep. See ya.